In steel stocks like JSW Steel, Tata Steel, JSPL, are rallying very hard. The Chinese government says that they will close all medium frequency furnaces, which is 9% of Chinese steel capacity. Mr. R.K. Goyal is managing director at Kalyani Steel, and he's joining us on the phone line right now to really explain to us what the impact of this can be on the industry and maybe on the company as well, but more importantly for the Indian steel industry. Mr. Goyal, thank you for your time, sir. Could you first of all tell us, just explain to us, medium frequency induction furnaces, what is different between these type of furnaces compared to, regular furnaces? And we understand that we are talking about some 50 to 60 million tons of production, which is essentially going to be cut down.
China largely produces steel by blast furnace route, which is known as the integrated steel plant, starting from iron ore and to the finished steel. Now, all these induction furnaces, they basically melt scrap, iron and all. Not a very popular process in.
Okay, Mr. Goyal, is our voice reaching you? I think there's been a bit of a loss of connection.
Much higher.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Goyal.
As compared to the integrated steel plants. So it's a good decision for the Chinese mills to close this capacity, as it is no more very competitive.
Oh.
Now, the impact on India or the rest of the world will happen only if the total production in China is reduced, which is running at the rate of around 800 million ton per year against out of a capacity of 1.3 billion ton in China.
So we're talking about out of 800 million tons production, about 50, 60 million tons sort of not being in the market anymore. That's what we should, those are the big numbers to focus on?
No, I don't think so. They will reduce the total production. It will be produced by some other plants. So until this 800 million comes to 750 million, it has no impact on the world.
But it doesn't, the news flow suggests that you're saying you're saying it's not going to come down to 750 right away. The news flow that we have suggests that is essentially what the announcement is. This has been made by CISA.
That's what we need to really see, whether they reduce the production.
Okay, so right now we don't know whether there's a reduction in terms of production, but sir, what is the average capacity utilization of plants currently, say in this quarter, for companies in India?
In India, we are operating at around 68 to 70% capacity utilization.
Okay, and you're not expecting any sort of up move in capacity utilization on account of this at all?
You see, in India, we are suffering very badly from the demand side. Demand growth is very little, and hence the capacity utilization is not increasing much.
Okay, because of lack of demand, even though there's some amount of incremental capacity which has been shut in China, you wouldn't see any sort of incremental benefit for your company or any other company on average?
That's true.
Mr. Goyal, just to go back to that important point, why are you skeptical that these cuts will not be effected?
You see, if there is a demand in China of around 800 million ton, they will produce because they have excess capacity as such. They have a capacity of around 1.3 billion ton. And even if they close 100 million ton out of this, which is non-competitive, then they can still produce 800 million ton.
Okay. All right. Ekta, anything more?
No, thanks Mr. Goyal for joining in and speaking with us. So that's Kalyani Steel.